All right, welcome everyone to our free event today, our complimentary event, I guess. And just lost the simple breath support for these changing times. I had to remember the title. That's a wonderful title. All right. So welcome everyone, and thank you for attending our call live, or if you're hearing the replay as well. So I'm excited to be introducing today a wonderful healer, intuitive, and wise woman, Kaiilama. I hope I'm saying your name right. Kaiilama Morris. Am I saying that right?
Kaiilama.
Kaiilama. I don't know why I have such trouble with that, so I'm going to have to practice that. But she is a beautiful soul and has joined our Get Your Goddess Groove On community, and will be sharing some of her beautiful work and expertise with us today. So I'm so excited to have her on and be a part of our community and to bring you new sharings like this. And this will continue as we continue to grow in our community. We'll be bringing through different teachers and healers and experts to support you on your spiritual journey of ascension. Instead of ascension, it's now ascension, I think, is the new word that we're all resonating with, or you may still be with ascension. Either one is fine. So let's see, I want to bring up your, see if I can get to your bio real quick here and just share that with you before I'm going to turn it over. Here. Okay, so make sure I didn't lose it. All right, here we go. So, all right, Kaiilama Morris is a certified somatic breath practitioner with 20 years of experience in a private practice in Vermont. In addition, she is a passionate life coach and intuitive guide, assisting people of all ages to remember, reconnect, realign, renew, and open to her deeper wisdom and truth of their sovereign divinity. She has taught nationally, and for over 10 years, she co-taught empowerment and facilitator trainings with the Power of Breath Institute. Her vision is for each and every living being to live freely within abundance, joy, and peace, with a profound, deep connection and knowing of their sovereign divinity. So welcome today, and thank you so much for spending this time with us to share with us a little bit about the power of somatic breath. So I'm going to turn it over to you and get started.
Great. Thank you so much, Laura. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. And thank you for those of you who have gotten up really early in the morning, wherever you are, to join us. The breath is a really powerful doorway and a tool into that ascension place that Laura is recoining for all of us, because it's not an outward experience. It is an outward, I would say, transformation into actions and living, but it's more of an internal awakening and realization of who we truly are. And what brought me to that doorway personally was the breath. Now, most of us don't get a lot of education about our breathing system. We don't get a lot of education about what is the resource that is offered through the doorway of the breath. The breath actually connects you to your divine essence, to who you truly are, and allows what? Well, allows the deeper wisdoms that we all really know and understand through the doorway of our divinity to awaken. And I've seen this over and over again. I've been doing this work with people for 20 years. And I have seen so many profound wisdoms rise up from within someone after a breath session, or by just taking a few minutes to slow down and really focus on their breathing. Many of us have chronic breathing patterns that we're not even aware of, that shut us down into either an emotional patterned energy that we're used to, and even though we're suffering, we're comfortable in it, or that shut us down from our own physical well-being. So I begin with people usually in the very beginning, just asking them to become aware. Increase your awareness of your own breathing so that you can learn about your own personal breathing patterns, because we all have them. And do we start by taking our first full open breath when we're newborn babies? Yes, we do. But over time, most of us create patterns of breathing. And why? Because we are reacting to our environments. We're trying to keep ourselves safe. We're trying to keep ourselves contained, and we're trying to keep ourselves alive. Mostly we're trying to survive. And so the biggest gift of the breath is shifting on one of the greatest gifts. I think there's so many, is shifting our nervous system. And what do I mean by that? Well, most of us live or can live in that very high, anxious, nervous, um, afraid of the next thing that may show up in life, that may show up in humanity, that may show up in our personal lives. And I see many, many, many people really struggling right now in everything that we have going on in this great, I call it the laboring of humanity, as being, we're going through that birthing process that is so important. And it's also very chaotic and changeable. So I find the breath to be a great tool to help to clear the energy fields, whether it's emotional energy or physical tightness or mental activity, and get back into my center, the center and the calmness in my nervous system, which is so important right now. Yeah. Do you want to ask me anything, Laura, or should I keep
No,
talking?
keep going. I just feel like that this is really resonating so much right now. It's such an important tool that we can all access. Anybody can access it, in simple to learn techniques. So yeah, keep sharing. I love what you're sharing.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the things I think is so amazing about the breath, and we're so unconscious about it, is that we have a tool right here that we can access. And sometimes, maybe if you're in a stressful work situation or a stressful relationship situation, just taking a moment to just put your hand on your heart and take a full, slow, deep breath in your body can just help to realign and um, let go of some of that contraction that we're feeling. And that's so important. Why? Because it makes space. It makes space for us to what? Connect to our intuition, to that wisdom that we all possess. Well, why is that? Because we are all divine Holy Spirits. And I think there's been so much movement in this ascension process of looking outside of ourselves to see, who's the teacher that I go to? What's the book that I read next? And are all those things important? Absolutely. But I feel like the greatest gift that I give myself is lying down twice or three times a week for a half an hour to 40 minutes and breathing and allowing everything that I've experienced to move through my body. And it's a cleansing, it's a healing that happens from within ourselves. And I always feel so much more relaxed, because as you are breathing and you're engaging your diaphragm, which is your breathing muscle, you are accessing your nervous system. And why is that? Because the vagal nerve, which is the biggest nerve in the body, and there's so much to know about the vagal nerve, it's an amazing nerve in the body. It goes through all your systems, up into your brain, up through your spine, into the base of your brain, which is where your nervous system is. And it helps to what? Balance the nervous system. Right. So predominantly when I have people come to me, they're experiencing a huge amount of anxiety, or they're swinging from anxiety into depression, or they're swinging from really high. Oh my gosh, I did that meditation. I just felt so good and so high, but it didn't last very long. It wasn't very sustainable. So, what I have discovered about the breath is that it's a sustainable um, tool that helps us if we continue to dip ourselves into the breath, helps us to develop emotional stability, physical stability and strength, and mental stability, so that we're not constantly lost in the chatter of the monkey mind, which is why many people resist meditation. They try it, but they cannot sustain a meditation practice. And why is that? Because there's so much monkey mind activity going on. I was just talking to a client yesterday, and he said, "Oh my gosh, I've tried meditation for years and I can't do it." Well, is somatic breath like a meditation? In some ways, it is. But what we're asking you to do while you're breathing is we're asking you to focus your attention on your inhale, your attention. Remember how powerful attention is. You're taking your divine Holy Spirit and you're focusing on something. And what is that going to do? That is going to plant a seed, right? So we're
Mhm.
asking you to focus on your inhale and to relax your exhale.
Mhm.
And I coach actual sessions where I'm having people close the pause between their inhale and their exhale. We're closing it. We're making a circle with our breath. Now, why would we want to do that? Well, that is going, if you make a circle with your breath, and there's lots more going on in somatic breath session than that, but that's the beginning place. If you make a circle with your breath, you are going to create a closed container and you're going to be able to access your deeper self, right?
Mhm.
It's like taking a journey into your true being and
Mm.
get allowing the chatter to go into the background, allowing your attention where your physical, maybe your focus really on your physicality because you've got something going on, right? And the more you close, the more you focus on just that circle, right? And you're activating your vagal nerve, you're going to go into a deeper space within yourself. Your nervous system is going to start to relax. And you're going to notice that you don't even remember where you are, maybe, or you can't really remember what that thought was you were thinking a second ago.
Mhm.
And
Wow,
yeah,
this is really, really powerful stuff you're sharing because when you were sharing about the circular, in the breath, which the circle is represents wholeness and balance and equality and the fullness of life, right?
yes,
And it also represents the womb to me. And it was really interesting because I think a lot of us, as children, I hear that post-traumatic stress disorder is very, very common in the general population. And I know that when I experienced trauma as a child, I, created a pattern of holding my breath, right?
yep,
So holding my breath because I wasn't sure if I was in danger because I felt danger happening. And so that was a disruptor to the normal breath pattern. And so this is making so much sense. And how many times a day are many of us not even realizing that we might be holding our breath if we're re-experiencing or getting triggered in a trauma, or we're just even, coming into a more shallow breath, or breathing, more quickly, but not taking those deep, full breaths and maintaining that circular pattern that you're talking about. And this really resonates so much of how it's even created, um, the anxiousness and the stress that we're all carrying. And, many people may be fearing, going into fear and feeling ungrounded simply because their breath, because the impact of the breath and the impact on the body and the vagus nerve, and not really being able to ground in without having a full breath. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. No, you've said so many things that I could respond to. Um, but the first thing is that the one of the most important aspects of a full and healthy breath is beginning our breath in our lower body. That means the lower belly. Okay. And what I mean by the lower belly is if you put your hands, your palms of your hands on your hips, and the tips of your fingers on your pubic bone. So you're having your hands go down. That is your lower belly. Okay. This is the breath that grounds us fully into the body, grounds us into our chakra system. Okay. Grounds us into all the light bodies and into the crystalline earth grids of the Mother Earth. Okay. Now, when we go through any experience, now everybody that I have ever met, ever sat with, friends, family, everyone has had experiences. And have they been trauma experiences? Yes. Most people, I would say, have experienced trauma. Now, everybody's trauma is different, of course, but when we hold our breath, we stop our breath, we bring our breath up into our upper body. That is where we are holding the energy in of the experience, the emotional energy, because we don't feel safe to feel it, the physical energy, whatever that is, that wants to express itself. Okay. And the mental energy, which are the thoughts that are happening in that moment. And so then what happens is we don't integrate that experience. We don't integrate it. We don't go full circle through the experience. And no, I talk about this in my work, in the classes that I teach in great depth, because this is really key piece to understanding ourselves. And yeah, is trauma in this day, in this moment happening? Absolutely. But there are also triggers that come in. The husband that just said something, or the boss that just shared something, or the friend that had some comment or reaction to something we said or something we did, that brings up an experience from our past that we haven't fully integrated. So the more my beginning years, practicing this tool and being facilitated and working with the people that I worked with, I integrated so many experiences that I had before I got to the point of the somatic breath tool. And sometimes it came through a memory, sometimes it came through just viscerally in my body. Because when we hold our breath and we stop our breath and we don't let ourselves feel the feelings, that gets held in our physical cellular body. And this is where I have seen disease and imbalance happens in the body. And so the breath is a doorway to opening that space up and allowing for the integration, which is vitally important, because every single one of us have experience, but we don't integrate it. And
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is what I have seen in my own experience, but I have also seen it consistently over and over again. One of the aspects of my work is that I work in a space called Inner Fire, and they are supporting people to come off of these antidepressants, anti-anxiety medications, and they are offering things like somatic breath. So I'm one of the practitioners there. And I have seen this consistently where people come in a very contracted body. Their emotional self has been shut down by these medications that, they've chosen because they just wanted relief, but they're noticing that they're very difficult to get off of. So this program helps people in a variety of different ways to get off. But the key piece for every single one of these people over the last 2 years that I've been blessed to support is finding and understanding the breath from the lower body and reopening the root chakra, because this is where we shut down. We
Yes.
shut our breath down. So mostly
Yes.
what I see with people is they're breathing from either they're efforting with their abdominals, or they're trying to move their diaphragm and it's hard work, or they're breathing from their upper chest. I
Mm.
was an upper chest breather when I first started this journey. And it took me probably a full 6 months to begin to even understand the belly breath. I just had so many facilitators that would say things to me like, "Do you think you breathe when you inhale from your lower belly?" And in my mind, I thought I did. I said, "Yeah, yeah, I'm doing that." And then one day, someone took a picture of me, of a video of me breathing. I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked. My belly did not move at all unless I efforted, unless I used my abdominals to move my lower belly. So
Mm.
that's what I call the essential breath. And it is relearnable, and it is so vitally important because it is the space and the place where the divine is connecting with you. It is through the doorway of your breath. It's like right there. And we don't even know about it, most of us.
Mm.
And
Love
that's one of the
this.
things, yeah, that's one of the things that so excites me about the power of the breath.
Oh, this is powerful stuff. And so, um, just a question here, or, so is the deepest space we can do the circular breath actually in through the root chakra, which makes sense that it would be that. So if we're breathing up from the root chakra through all the chakras,
Yes,
all the way up, getting that beautiful energy, because, we do have a natural circular um, already in motion between cosmic heaven and down into Mother Earth coming back. So you're just really essentially talking about connecting, it sounds like, with that cosmic loop that's already there.
yes,
In a
yes. And
sense.
bringing in awareness of that. And also, you're breathing into the womb. And the womb is the space of no thing. This is where creation happens. This
Yes.
is where we are all created from, is this space of no thing. That is the dark space of the womb. Now, when I work with both men and women, I encourage them to plant the seeds of themselves, their intentions, their heart essence, their passions, their dreams in this womb space as they are breathing. And
Yes.
why is that? Because we are divine Holy Spirits. Therefore, we have a womb of creation, just like the divine spirit does of all things,
Yes, I
of
love
all
what you're
beings.
saying. That's wonderful, because such an alignment here because of what the Magdalene Red Rose membership. That's what we're doing right now, is we're learning about the womb, and learning practices to heal our womb, and breath is one of the practices um,
Absolutely.
that we're tapping into, but not at the level that your expertise comes in. And maybe you can come and join us for a session to teach us about that. But yeah, I want to make sure we have time. It's almost 11:30 to give you plenty of time to take us through some actual. I think you're going to share some basic breathing techniques with us today or something.
Yes, yes, I am. Yeah. Okay, so let's just begin by getting your spine erect and your feet grounded on the floor, wherever you are. Maybe you've got an opportunity to be outside. Just close your eyes gently. We're just going to begin by just going within. And I just want you to begin by just noticing your breathing. Just focus your attention on your breath. See if you can just notice how full your inhale feels to you. And you're just breathing the way you usually do. Does your inhale feel really easy, or do you feel like you're efforting to bring that inhale into your body? Focus in your lower pelvis, backside of your pelvis, which would be your sacrum and the base of your spine as you're sitting. Just notice if you feel any movement there in the backside of your spine, your sacrum, your hips. We're just noticing our inhale. Notice the front side of your pelvis, the front side of your hips, the lower belly, which is just above your pubic bone. This is where your root chakra is. Just focus your attention here. Just gently being with yourself. It's just a gentle observing. There's no judgment here. Just see what you can learn about yourself and your breath from this space and place. Your lower body. Just breathing like you usually do. And just see if you can remember anything you're feeling in this area of your body, or maybe you're feeling nothing. Maybe you're not connecting to this space in your body, and that's okay. That's okay. I know I didn't. Okay, now I'm going to ask you to take a full deep breath. Inhale all the way up to the top of your head. And let go. Just let your exhale drop. Good. Again, inhaling all the way up. And let your exhale drop. Okay, now this third time, I'm going to have you let your exhale out all the way, okay, as far out as you can go. And then I want you to wait. Pay attention to that area that we were focusing our attention on. And I want you to see if you can notice from inside of your body how your inhale is right there and it just comes right in after your exhale. Okay, so let's try that together. We're inhaling all the way up. Now let your exhale go. Let it keep on going all the way out, as far out as you can let your exhale go. Just keep going all the way to the bottom. You might notice that your belly is maybe sticking out a little bit there at the bottom. So you're letting that exhale go all the way out. And then be patient and wait for the inhale to rise up. Just be a millisecond. And if it's not, that's okay. Just be patient. It's right there. Just see what you notice. Just observe and be gentle and kind with yourself. Maybe it took a while for your inhale to come in. It's okay. It's okay. We're just meeting ourselves with gentleness and compassion and love. This is the feminine, the divine feminine, gentle, peaceful, kind, just observing. Okay, let's just try that again. We're inhaling, and then we're letting our exhale go. All the way out. Keep going. Keep going. Right to the bottom of the exhale. And then just notice. Be patient. Notice how your inhale comes right in. Okay, now I want you to take one of your hands and put it on your lower belly. Okay, that's right above your pubic bone. And we're going to do this one more time. We're going to inhale. And let go. All the way out. All the way out. All the way out. And just wait for your inhale to rise. And notice if that hand you have on your lower belly rises as your inhale comes in. Now we're paying attention to the inhale from within ourselves. And we're also paying attention to the inhale from without ourselves. Both places at the same time. Noticing if the hand rises, and now you're just breathing, just a regular breath. Just notice if your hand is rising as you're inhaling. And if it's not, that's okay. I don't want you to force your inhale with your abdominals or with your muscles that you have down there in your lower belly. Now just see what else you can notice as you have your hand there in your lower belly. Does your hand rise? Or maybe it doesn't. Maybe it just rises a little bit. Does your breath feel shallow? Or does it feel full? Feel like you're receiving all that life has to give you, all the blessings, all the love, all the peace, all the joy. That'll be reflected in your inhale. Now focus your attention on your womb space. Whatever or however you experience your own womb space. You can just focus there where you know it is in your body. Even if you've had your womb removed, physically, you still have a spiritual light womb that lives in your body. So I want you to focus your attention here. Men also. And just welcome the inhale into this space. This is the space of all that is, of every possibility and every potential that's available to you. Allow the inhale to fill this space with golden light. So with each inhale, you're filling, receiving golden light into your womb space, into your creation space, into your potentials, possibilities, connecting to your Holy Spirit, your divine, feminine Christ consciousness through the doorway of your breath. And don't worry if you're doing it right or if it's perfect. There's just be with your inhale. Fill your room with golden light. Be open to receiving the wisdom of your Holy Spirit. Let your body soften, relax. Now we're going to just go into a nice, gentle, connected breath. So you're going to create a circle with your inhale and your exhale. So you're inhaling and you're just letting your exhale soften and relax. And the inhale is taking the hand of the exhale. And the exhale is taking the hand of the inhale. Let your shoulders soften in your upper back. Connecting your grid of light to that of the Mother Earth. And you're gently breathing, connecting the inhale to the exhale. So we're closing that space between the inhale and the exhale. And your womb is filled with golden light. You're inhaling and let it go. Inhaling and let it go. Soften your exhale. Inhaling and letting go. Inhaling and letting go. Inhaling and letting go. So we're breathing very intentionally, not too slow, and we're not forcing the breath. Breath is like a wave, an ocean wave, starting in the lower belly and flowing all the way up to your upper chest. And if you're feeling tension in any part of your body, just welcome the breath to that space. The breath is like an opening a window of fresh air. Now you can breathe in and out of your nose, or you can breathe in and out of your mouth. Now in and out of your mouth will bring a little more volume to your breath. A lot of us hold a lot of tension in our jaw. Okay, so we're gently breathing. Still have your hand, one hand on your lower belly. One breath at a time. Relaxed and easy, not forced exhale. Okay, now we're going to make a sigh. Okay, so we're just going to make gentle sigh, just like at the end of a long day where you've really put out a lot of energy. Okay, so we're inhaling. Again, inhaling. Okay, now let's transform that sigh into an ah sound. Okay, sound moves energy. So we're inhaling. Ah. And as you're letting go of the exhale, just make an ah sound. Inhaling. Ah. And inhaling. Ah. Again, inhaling. Ah. Inhaling. Ah. Okay, 2 more times. Inhaling. Ah. One more time. Inhaling. Ah. Good. Now let your body relax. Your hands relax into your lap. And just witness how you feel. Just witness how you feel. We're just going to take a couple of moments to just witness, and then and I'll take any questions that anyone might have about the exercise or about breathing. Just notice and witness how your body feels, how the breath feels. You might feel a little more open, might feel a little less tense in your body, might feel a little more peaceful. Yeah. Okay. So just re-enter your body and return to normal breath, whatever that is for you. And just gently open your eyes and allow yourself to smile.
That was amazing. It was really, really powerful. In just a short time, felt such a difference in my body.
Yeah. So why don't
So,
you talk about that, Laura? What did you notice for yourself? And then happy to take any questions from anyone.
yeah, I really started to notice I was relaxing more into my womb space and bringing the breath further down in the body. I feel like I'm probably breathing more from the abdomen right now, or that's what I was noticing, which I used to be a shallow breather. So there has been improvement over the years. But I would like to continue to, of course, bring it to that full circular breath because I noticed that I felt more calm, more present, more grounded, more aware.
Mm.
Um, and even some bliss energy started to come in, it's particularly into the spine, as you were talking about, the spine and the nervous system and the vagus nerve. So, I was just thinking, oh my gosh, what a powerful tool that could be shared out there right now, particularly with us going through the challenge of the virus. And this would be so powerful to not only strengthen our respiratory system, but to strengthen the vagus nerve. I've done a little bit of study on the vagus nerve because it does impact our overall immune system.
Yep.
And wow, this is such a powerful tool that can be shared out there to help many people to really feel, like they have something in their own hands, taking power back in their own hands to help them to increase their immunity and strengthen it so that they can feel more confident about, you know, around this whole virus. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is just such an epiphany almost. So that was my experience, but I'd love to hear others if anyone would like to share or have questions. I don't see where you can raise your hand, but if you want to unmute yourself, that's fine. Or if anyone wanted to share anything at all, or ask a question, just feel free to do so. Or you can even use the chat box if you'd like. So I loved what you said about the womb, and I was recently studying with a psychotherapist, and she had a very interesting grounding that she taught me, and it's very powerful. And she was talking about how, I don't know if this was something she observed or heard or whatever, but she said that by the time we're almost 3 years old, she goes, think about when you were 3 years old, or look at a 3-year-old child and how they're just so full of joy. And they're, usually laughing and full of just innocence and full on expression, right? When children are just in their heart. And she said, but at some point, sometimes what happens is that that energy that we're holding of joy, which is in our womb space, it's almost like having a balloon in your womb space, and that balloon is full. It's big, it's full, it's held in the womb, and it's like this child is expressing full on from all of that beautiful divine energy and connection. And she said what she observed is that as we go through life and we begin to shut down, through trauma or patterns, is that what happens is all this energy, it almost like the balloon inside the womb deflates and goes down, and then all the energy rises up to our head, and then we begin to function more from the mental and from the head space, and we're not functioning in that place of that, full empowerment, that, balloon or container, of full life. And this is making so much sense to me as you're talking about the breath, and how we're through the breath is how we're connecting with life. And so, if we begin to disengage from that full breath and that circular breath that's coming into the root in the womb, and then we start to, it comes up, and now we're just breathing from the abdomen, and maybe eventually we're just breathing in short breaths from the, up here from the throat. It's like, well, no wonder we feel, powerlessness, and no wonder we feel ungrounded, and we feel anxious, and we feel fear. I mean, this is just very, very powerful information.
Yeah, absolutely. And I see that with, 99% of the people that I support. The only time I haven't seen it is in young children. And exactly that is what's, and it's partly why does that happen? And this, I talk about this in my work, in my trainings. It's our programming, it's the structures that we're placed within. The family system is become a programming. We transfer what we've learned through our own experience to our children. It's in our education systems, it's in our work systems. The pressure that's placed on us and the expectations that are placed on young children in kindergarten, is it's a programming that what enlivens the focus of attention, make the mind your master, and the mind will be where it will help you create a reality that you will be happy in. And I think that what's happened over the last 15 to 20 years is that people are realizing I have everything I've ever wanted from the time I was a child, that I've dreamed about, but I'm not happy. Why is that? Why do I not feel fully open and free in myself and connected to that joy that you're talking about, that young children experience? Why? What is it? Why didn't all this bring me that? And I know people who have, multiple master's degrees, PhDs, who are totally deeply depressed and anxious and afraid, and shutting their breath down so that it's hardly an inhale. And
Yeah.
it's
Wow.
it's it's powerful, powerful, powerful programming we all receive. So that's part of what I offer, is the awareness and the education of where are you still shutting yourself down? And if you don't know, well, I always say the body does not lie. Lie down and breathe, and you will discover where you're shut down, because the body cannot lie. The mind can lie, but the body cannot. And the breath helps us not only reconnect to that root, reconnect to that womb space of our own selves, but also it helps us to awaken the heart and allow the heart to become the master instead of the mind. Yeah.
Yes,
And
yes, that's awesome. It's making so much sense to me. And it was almost like when you were talking about, people who are very intellectual and, have degrees and spend a lot of time in that left brain. It's almost like they were showing me, the guides were a pattern of just breathing from the left brain to the throat, the left brain. It was like a little loop. It was like just this little loop of breath instead of this full looping through the body that was intended to be to breathe all the way down through the heart, just through the pineal, through the heart, even through the
yeah,
brain, through the heart, down through the womb, which is the creative center, all the way down into the root to connect with Mother Earth to get replenished.
exactly, exactly.
Um,
We've cut ourselves
wow.
off from a rich resource, consistent, unending, because love has no end, resource of refueling and sustainable. It's so sustainable. And we're trying to stand on a platform of insustainability, of the mind directed lifestyle. It's no, it doesn't, you can't sustain it. You can't
No,
sustain it.
so true. What
Yeah.
a powerful words, because and I think we're seeing that today, that what we've built, what humanity has built, and we've all been co-creators in it, we've all been a part of it, is a very unsustainable, structure that's now, falling away and dissolving, because it's so true, because it's so imbalanced right now. So
Yes.
imbalanced. And the foundation, we've got to get back to the foundation of what you said of infinite love. Love is infinite. And where we're connecting in not just to the cosmic, but to the Mother Earth, that's an infinite loop of love. I think we have something in the chat box here. So let me,
Yeah.
Cassandra said, I had an aha moment while doing the circular breathing that the void in the womb in the quantum field connects, brings in more alchemy. Yeah, I'm getting that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm getting chills on that, Cassandra. Thank you. That's a wonderful sharing and observation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and I go into that more deeply, because what we're actually doing as we're connecting our breath is that we're allowing our sacred geometry, that alchemy that Cassandra is talking about, to shift and change into our original template of our divinity, of our Holy Spirit. That is so important. It's so important. And why is that? Because that electromagnetic field, which is um, our sacred geometry, is the coding that we move our life from. It is the coding that connects us to the vibrations of the love that we are. And many of us have um, codes and frequencies in our sacred geometry from this programming, from our life experience, where we haven't integrated emotionally, mentally, or physically. That is the resistance to being the full light and the love that we truly are. And
That's very
this
powerful.
Absolutely, absolutely. I have done many, I've taken many journeys in my life through lots and lots of doorways, and the breath continues to be the one sustainable tool that I continue to bring into my world. And why is that? Because I continually expand, I continually open through that doorway. And I continually see it, the power of the breath change people's lives sustainably. I see that. And that just inspires me every single day. I
Wow.
have people who come to me that have done a million things. I worked with a man for almost 3 years who was addicted to drugs and alcohol, had 4 marriages, and could not sustain a relationship. And it wasn't until he got to this tool and this breath, and he discovered so many profound experiences that he had that really disconnected him from himself. And to this day, right now, this man is drug and alcohol free. He
Oh,
is
wow.
depression free. And I think about him almost every single day of my life, because freeing ourselves from those chains is powerful. I mean, talk about empowerment. Wow. Absolutely. This is the other gift to the breath is true empowerment, where we really get to see we have the power within ourselves to change the fabric of our being, and
So
that
true.
it is possible. It is possible. And I don't even question that anymore, because I've seen it. I've seen it. I've experienced it as I've coached people and sat with them and allowed them to access their own inner wisdom, because that's the piece that brings us to the doorway of freedom, and beginning to trust that and let go of doubt. And that lives in the space and the place that you're talking about, awakening the root chakra again, where we've shut it down, and opening the womb space, which is the creation space, which is our divinity, and
Yes.
allowing ourselves to stop efforting and start allowing and
Mm.
receiving and opening. And this is the feminine, this is the divine feminine consciousness. This is what has been shut down in our humanity very purposefully. So the
Mm.
more that I allow myself to be dipped into the connected breath, the more I awaken my divine feminine Christ consciousness, which there is no end to that. There is no end. Yes.
Ooh, I'm getting such chills on that. That's so powerful, so beautiful. I'm loving this so much. It's like, yes, yes, yes. Beautiful.
Yeah, we're probably
Wow.
complete for our time frame, right? Because
Yeah,
wow,
we are a little
once
bit a couple minutes
once
past, so I want to go ahead and close on that powerful note, and just take a moment to thank everyone for who attended live today, and also wanted to share that. Did you want to talk a little bit about you're going to be teaching a class, and we're going to have you back. We're going to have you on the Get Your Goddess Groove On community radio.
yes,
And that's
yeah,
going to be January 8th, Friday, January 8th at 12 p.m. And I will post the event out there, and I will post this replay as well, so others can, get to meet you and learn and experience this powerful breath work. And then we will get to have you back on January 8th and talk a little bit about your new program, or your program you're going to be rolling out in January, to teach us all more about somatic breath. So, anything you wanted to share to wrap this up?
yes. Yes, I will be offering probably an 8-week swan dive. I love that lovely creation
Yes.
from Laura. and it will be called Hidden Delights, Breath, a Key to Opening to the Divine Feminine Christ Consciousness. And this will be an introduction to somatic breath. I mean, what I gave you today was just a little touch of what this tool, the power of what this tool can really bring into your life. And just a few, just to offer things, well, we'll go through just in creating a culture of loving connection, really important for any framework of a deep dive into ourselves. I'll talk about the physiology of the breath, what some breath patterns may be. You'll get an opportunity to do a little deeper dive into your own breath. Really a deeper guided breath sessions, finding that essential breath and beginning to really open the root chakra, the pelvis, really breathing into that. More information around the nervous system and the vagal nerve. Emotional intelligence. I will offer a lot of education around what is emotional intelligence and how do we really allow ourselves to be in emotional harmony and create stability. And of course, much more. Yeah, and it'll be fun and interactive and inspiring, and we'll follow our intuition because will there be a structure and an outline? Absolutely. And will we allow what's in the highest good? Absolutely. That's the balance of the feminine and the masculine, which we'll talk about also. Yeah, so.
Wonderful. Sounds really yummy. I'm really excited for that. Can't wait for you to come and share this with the community. And this is just super exciting and very powerful. So thank you all. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much. So grateful. And thank you everyone who came on live today. Grateful for that.
Yes, thank you all for having your time with us and lending your love and support. And I will share this out in the Get Your Goddess Groove On community. And I think also I may share this on YouTube if that's okay with you.
Absolutely. Yep.
Beautiful. Such a beautiful sharing today and so powerful. And I would like to share that with, whoever's interested. So we'll get that set up and get you a copy as well. All right. So final words, Bonnie. Thank you, Camilla and Laura.
Oh, thank you, Bonnie.
You're so welcome, Bonnie. Thank you. And Cassandra for being here live with us. And thank you for everyone who listened to the replay. So we're going to sign off now. And lots of love and blessings to you all. Have a beautiful day out there. Today's a powerful day of 11/11. So take some time to enjoy today and spend some time with yourself and your breath and see what happens, right?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you all.